It's time to whip off that bra, pour a glass of your favorite wine, and join us for this week's Drinks at 6 podcast. Hey, it's Drinks at 6. I'm here with Monica, and we've got a great podcast ahead of us. We're going to talk about ways that we sabotage business. And then we're going to give you a fun new way to make fitness fit into your schedule. And then I have to be preachy. Why women in our 40s? Why do we refuse to wear reading glasses? I personally believe that there's an emotional objective behind that. So, Monica, hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. How
Sorry, I was daydreaming about my next piece of bacon. That I was gonna... Jacqueline, every time I come, you're all like, you're so welcoming with the bacon.
With the bacon.
I'm just so happy.
That's what I want to be known for. The bacon bitch. Yeah. Anyway, you're welcome. That's part of our podcast, Wine and Bacon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start my
Do you have
message?
Oh, your message from the uterus.
Universe. And speaking of uteruses, what about the drunk girl that was all over your uterus last weekend?
Okay, I do feel that needs some context. Okay, so that is not actually what happened. My husband and Greg and I went on a date night. Well, you know this, but now I have to clarify because it just sounded weird. We were sitting in this quiet new bar, and there's one other couple at the bar, and they'd been drinking for days, maybe. And she came over. She heard me mention something about divorce, and I guess she thought I was talking about us. And she came over to let us know we can't divorce. We're an amazing couple that she's never spoken to or met. And she asked if we had a kid, and I'm like, yeah, we have a little girl. And she goes to Greg, "This woman has a sacred uterus. Her uterus gave life." And she goes, "Do you know?" Like as if he doesn't. "Do you know she gave life through her vagina?" Which I didn't. I had a C-section. And I'm like, yeah, keep telling him. And she says to him, "You represent all man to your daughter. You better not fuck up." I'm like, yeah, you better not, pal. So I'm joking. Every time he pisses me off, I'm like, hey, this is from the sacred uterus. Anyway, she was really cute and lovely, but I'm sure the next day she's like, who the hell was that chick? Anyway. So,
I love it.
Let's go back to your actual universe.
My universe message is I want to talk about getting from good to better. You know why I want to talk about this? Because in our last podcast, you said, I can't remember your exact words, but it was, is there action in the law of attraction?
No, you said it. You coined
it.
It sounded like a bumper sticker. You should maybe listen to our own podcast sometime.
Yeah, exactly.
You said, is there action?
Do I have to listen to it at 6 or can I download it later?
You can download it and listen to it whenever you have a glass of wine in your hand.
Okay, so anyways, so the whole idea about action and the law of attraction. So I think a lot of times people think with the law of attraction, put something out there, it's going to come back. Whatever you put out, it's coming back. Right?
Oh, right. Like Amazon. Yeah.
I
put out my credit card, you give me stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Now I get the Amazon reference.
Oh, I'm sorry. That didn't make sense. I was like, you just put it out there and it shows up on your door.
You didn't see my
you don't have to go. No.
Deer in headlights?
No, sorry.
You didn't catch that? Okay.
Oh,
that's
that
okay.
Didn't make sense.
So, with the law of attraction, I think what we have to remember is that our goal in life is happiness. That's the goal, right? So you take that one thing, and with happiness, you have to have the understanding that it's not the things in your life that you want that will make you happy. It's being happy that will bring you those things. But you can never give those things the power to make you happy. Your happiness is your priority.
Right.
So you must find happiness no matter what. So it's not about stuff. It's not about when I make more money, I can buy that car, I'll be happy. When I'm living over there, I can be happy. When I'm hanging out with these people, I'll be happy. It's about being happy now, and those things will come as a result of your happiness. Mm-hmm. So then the next question is, well, how do I get to that point? Because right now I feel withdrawn. Okay, so this is like the worst case scenario. I feel withdrawn. I don't feel like I'm a part of life. I don't feel like I belong here. I don't feel like I deserve that. I don't feel like all of these sort of bad messages, right? So then you say to yourself, okay, so now I'm feeling withdrawn. What would be a better feeling than withdrawal? Well, you can't go from withdrawal to happiness. You got to go to the next thing. And the next thing would be anger. So get mad, like punch a pillow, go to a kickboxing class, and get angry at the fact that you feel withdrawn. And that's a better feeling than with being withdrawn. And then you go from anger to what's the next feeling on the road to happiness? Well, the next feeling is frustration. You know what? That pisses me off when I can't do that. And that pisses me off that I'm not figuring this out. And that pisses me off. And then from frustration, we can go to hope. Mm-hmm. And once we have hope, we can get to happiness.
Yeah.
Take it and run with it. That's my message for the week.
I like that because
like that?
I never thought about it, and it seems like the obvious thing is to like, yeah, automatically. It's kind of like the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference, right?
Yes.
So understanding what the range of emotions are, I think makes it a more achievable goal, because now you can say, if I'm feeling withdrawn or depressed or whatever, if you say, oh, okay, well, I need to turn myself around and make myself happy, then it's unachievable.
Yeah.
Because it's overwhelming, right? You can't do that. So I like this idea that, if you understand those emotions, I think it's a more achievable progression to happiness.
It definitely is. You're climbing a ladder.
Yeah, exactly.
Step by step.
So, no, I like that. I really like that. Thanks for sharing that one.
No problem.
Okay, anytime. Okay, so today you had mentioned that you wanted to talk about sabotaging business. How we...
Yeah. I want to talk to you specifically about this.
Oh, okay.
So the whole...
Now you listen to me. I feel like I have a bare light bulb on my head right now. Swinging and you're waterboarding me. Oh no, that's my daughter.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So, like when we were talking about this a little bit before, I was saying to you, Jacqueline, sometimes when we're podcasting about, issues in life, I feel kind of like insecure about putting myself out there with, I'm feeling this way. I want to come across as positive, but what about when the negative stuff in life is creeping in? We want to be honest on our podcast, and we want people to feel like, you know what, I can relate to that, or I can... Yeah. And so this topic sort of came to me as the whole idea of defeating yourself, of self-sabotage in business. So in my situation, it's specifically how I self-sabotage myself in the company that I run. But it's not self-sabotage for people that you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be a business owner. I'm talking about any sort of aspect of your life, but for you and I together, like, I'd like to talk specifically about the business part of it, because you're freelance, you're running your own show as well, right? Yeah. So I feel like, we're into a new year now, and when I ended my year last year, you kind of go into, I feel like November, December, you just sort of go into like this survival mode of, okay, like in my business now is a busy time, and I got to make hay while the sun shines, and I'm just going full at it. Any opportunity I'm going to say yes to. I'm going to do it all. I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to fall behind on everything else, but that's okay because I got to make the hay while the sun shines. Right. And then all of a sudden, January comes along, and everything comes to a screeching halt in terms of the activity, but the important work needs to be done to lay the foundation for the next year. And I feel like sometimes in that silence of being able to, like, okay, so now I need to calmly sit with my thoughts and think about all different things in my business, like, new website, social networking strategy, all of this stuff. Yes. And when I put it all together in a pile, I go into a beautiful little self-sabotage where I say, okay, I'm going to do all that? Really?
Yeah. Well, it's so much. And you think that you have estimated, right?
Yes. And I even do things to self-sabotage where I'll say, okay, so it's 9 o'clock. I'm having a nice breakfast. I want to be at the studio by 10, and I'm going to put 8 hours in, and I'm really going to kick it into high gear. Get to the studio for 10, and then, the girls I work with, they have a couple questions. Now it's 11 o'clock. Then the phone rings, and I've got to address a call, and then my mom texts me, and I'm answering the text, and next thing you know, it's 12:30. I have accomplished nothing, and I actually give up on the day. I go, you know what? I'll do that tomorrow, because today's kind of done.
Totally. It is kind of done, isn't it? And it's 5 more valuable hours, and it's not
what
done.
What the hell is that?
I know.
I hate that.
I think because you get so thrown off your plan that all of a sudden you just kind of like, it's all or nothing, right? If I can't, you must be like me.
I'm very all or nothing.
Yeah, like if I cannot stick to this schedule that I have planned or my to-do list, if, for me, I have a to-do list every day. If I have 10 things and I'm on the third one by noon, screw it. It's never going to happen in my mind. But if I actually look at each of those items, I'm like, well, that's a phone call. That's 10 minutes. Well, that's just me shooting off a quick email. That's 2 seconds. I know, when I break it down, I know I can do it. But when I just see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 not checked off, I'm like, holy crap, forget it. I'm shoving it all till tomorrow. Let's call it quits. But then what do you do for the rest of the day?
You do time waster stuff.
Yeah, you do time waster stuff. So,
or you worry about how am I going to do it instead of just
and then
doing
that night, do you have the best sleep ever? No. Because you're like, all of a sudden.
No, and then you renegotiate for the next day.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll get up at 6, and then I'll do and then you hit snooze, and you don't get up at 6.
And then you sabotage that day. Because you didn't
you've already started
the day.
With the sabotage.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting because what happened to me was I had this plan for the new year. I use my Google Calendar all the time. And so Monday was set. I was going to finish my business plan. I had, emails I had to catch up on. I had to respond to some requests from the website from advertisers and podcast comments, which were great. And anyway, but I had a list, right? And a lot of it was, okay, first week in Jan is going to be slow. I'm going to catch up on all the stuff for my website that I haven't been able to do. Like you, I kind of have this crazy list of social and marketing and advertising and things I need to do. I'm going to do it now. This is the 1 week when all my clients are kind of slow. They're sitting with all the content I've sent them. I'll get all their feedback next week. So Sunday night, my daughter wakes up at 2 a.m. and she is wide friggin' awake till 6 a.m. It's Monday's the next day. I have been excited since the middle of 2 weeks ago. I've been excited since our last week off, between Christmas and New Year's, to get back to work. I was so inspired for 2016 and for Drinks at 6 and everything. So I had this plan. Every day my Google Calendar was broken out by the hour of what I was going to do. So I'm up with her from 2 to 6, and finally she falls asleep at 6. At 7, the alarm goes off. And I am gobsmacked. So Greg came in, because I was in her bed now, and I said, you know what? Forget it. We're all going to bed. I need to sleep. She can't go to school on an hour's sleep. So we slept till 10:30. And then, then I get her to school for noon and whatever. My day is screwed.
Yeah.
And I could have recouped 4 to 5 hours, but I didn't. And then it happened again Monday night and Tuesday night and Wednesday night with her. Not as long the last couple of days, but long. Mm-hmm. So I'm useless during the day because I'm so frigging tired.
Yes.
And by Thursday, I felt this depression that my whole kickoff to the new year was ruined. Nobody's fault, but I just felt this then I started to get negative and question everything. And well, what was I thinking? That I could do all this and maybe I should just give up on this. And, you get into this, I get into this really negative mindset about it. And I really have to kick my own ass to get out of it. That's why with no sleep, I go to spinning because it just gives me that endorphin rush to, at least for a few hours, get a few things done and feel a little bit of inspiration again.
Good. Yeah, that's amazing. And that's what you have to have, things in place to put you back into a good frame of mind, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And one of the things I do that I tell everybody, don't ever do this. This is my big no. Never, ever compare yourself to others.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, thankfully,
So-
there's no other Drinks at Six podcast, so
Yeah.
there's no competitors
Yeah.
for us.
That's right.
But no, I know what you mean.
So you have this, like when you're feeling good, things are going well. Like I'll look at other businesses that are doing well, like other entrepreneurs, and I'll feel so inspired. Like, oh my God, if they can do that, I can do that, and I feel so great about this. And then, what I do is I will, if I've had one of those nights like you've had, where I'm like half asleep the next day, no sleep, I've been up worrying, I didn't accomplish what I wanted to,
Yeah.
I feel like a loser. Then I go into, it's not really a jealousy thing, but it's like a self-loathing of how the hell did I not achieve what they've achieved? Like, I've been at this longer. Why am I not where this guy is? Why am I not? And then people say, you know, I'll like confide in my husband, and he'll go, but you are successful. You've been doing this since 1992. And I'm like, yeah, so? And where am I? Like, well, and then he has to remind me, and then I feel like an even bigger loser that I'm going to my husband. Now I'm like crybaby looking for reassurance. Oh my God. It's
Well,
very,
you're looking for reassurance, so at least you're looking, like, you got an idea of what you need to do, right?
right.
You need to have something in place to knock you out of it.
Yes, I definitely do. I found a little article online about 5 ways for women entrepreneurs to defeat self-sabotage in business. And one of the things they said was revisit past victories to boost your confidence.
That's what the gratitude jar is about.
Yes.
Because
I
you
need
look back on the
gratitude.
year, and the more you read about the things that made you happy or that you accomplished or that you're grateful for, the better you feel about everything else.
Yeah.
And gratitude is
Exactly.
the first emotion, that helps pull you out of a negative or angry space.
See?
See?
Who's talking from the uterus now?
I'm talking from the uterus. But it's true. Like, it will, the
Yes.
whole idea of the gratitude jar is to shift your thinking from negative to positive.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So when I'm like having a crap day with like work or whatever, I just have to take like a little, not a meditation break, but I just have to sit there for a while and write down a few things from the week. Yeah, I'm really grateful that, Maddie loved her first ballet class. I was worried that she wouldn't want to go back, and she was really well behaved and she listened. I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful that, I finished up the year, I met all my deadlines, and I got my finances straight. Like, so I still feel that twinge of, I'm not where I want to be, but it helps me.
Good. And did you always do the gratitude thing?
No,
or
we
you
just-
just started
this is
it?
the
But
new
you
year.
haven't, what I meant to ask you was, have you always done it personally? Like, have you kept
No.
a journal?
No.
Okay. Because I've just started journaling, but I think that would be a good thing to add to that is...
Journaling is good if you write it by hand.
Yes, I am writing it by hand.
Yeah, because when you write things by hand, you're forced to focus on them more than if you type them.
Okay.
So journaling and diaries should always be done by hand. Just a
Hey,
little tip for you guys.
Speaking of another thing, so I went to a therapist once, and she had me do this really great exercise. She said sometimes when we have blocks in our life, it's because the child within us has not overcome something or is still working through something, and we need to talk to our inner child. So she said, she said, are you right-handed or left-handed? I said, I'm right-handed. She goes, okay, so I want you to write to your child with your right hand, and I want you to answer from your child in your left hand.
Wow.
It's so powerful, and it really works.
Really?
It's actually quite amazing,
What?
mind-blowing.
Really? You
we're-
don't feel like all like The Changeling or some creepy Stephen King movie doing that?
No,
No?
but I don't watch horror movies.
I live in horror.
No, I'm kidding.
That's interesting. That is really interesting. I think
Yeah.
I have heard of something like that, but yeah.
It was like there. Anyway, if you want to.
So did you say you have an article about this?
Yeah,
Like,
so the other thing is, in the article they say remove naysayers and negative people from your life.
yeah.
Obviously.
I think in your 40s you
Good one.
kind of know that, right? That's
Yeah.
a rule of thumb by now, isn't
Yeah.
it? Kinda-
Read success stories about others for motivation.
Yeah.
So that is
That's
a
a good
good one.
idea.
Yeah. And revise what you say to yourself and eliminate negative self-talk.
Self-talk.
Good one.
You know what? Negative self-talk is a killer.
Uh-huh.
And everybody does it. And I don't know why we're preconditioned to do it, but it's more energy to talk positively to yourself than it is to talk negatively.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
Okay, I want to add redonkulous to our list of words that no one over 35 should ever use. That's why I had to use it.
I know. I do use redonkulous.
Do you?
Not really.
No, you don't. Well, you never will now because I just word shamed you.
Yeah. Okay, the best thing in this article, okay?
Yeah.
You ready? Be proactive against procrastination.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I like what they say. Procrastination is sneaky. It shows up looking like real work. And I did that on Monday. I'm like, I'm going to get rid of all my emails that I don't need. And I'm going to sort by sender. But by the way, Google Mail, Gmail, you use Google Mail, right?
Gmail, yeah.
Gmail, yeah.
I'm pretty mad at it, but I use it.
Yeah, okay. So when you're putting stuff into folder, like let's say I have all these emails from Jacqueline regarding Drinks at 6, and I want to put them into my Drinks at 6 folder. I can do that, but then they still live in the inbox, which irritates me. I don't want them in there. I want them in my folder.
What happens if you delete it from the inbox? Does it still live in the folder?
Yeah, but then I got to do two things.
It's true that you have to work to achieve happiness. Yes.
Okay, so I have to, so what do I have to do? I have to label it as a Drinks at 6 folder and delete it as an inbox folder?
I have no idea.
Oh, God. That's
you know what? I don't put my emails in folders, oddly enough, because I think I just know who everybody is who's emailing me. Like, I know you're with Glam Jewels or whatever, so I search them by their name. Like,
okay.
I don't know.
Maybe I need to get over the folders.
I'm sure the folders are actually smart and organized. I just don't use them because I'm not organized.
But guess what? I have lots of folders. Do I click on those folders after they've been folded?
No.
Never.
After they've been folded.
Okay. So, right. So procrastination shows up like real work that we just have to get done. It disguises itself as important tasks when it's really just busy work. In order to overcome procrastination, you have to stay focused on the most important tasks and prioritize. And we've talked about that before, where you have to write a to-do list and mark things as urgent and as not urgent. And things that are urgent are complete website. Not urgent is answer emails, because answer emails will always be there. People will always be emailing you.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you do that at the end of the day.
You know what I do for a to-do list? And it's so funny because I think it's so primary, but I was in a brainstorm meeting a few weeks ago, and I pulled out a piece of, like, my notebook. I always have my notebook. And every day starts with the to-do list, and then all the pages after that are notes on the whole day or, like, things referring to the list. But I draw little check boxes beside each item because I get actual satisfaction by checking off the checkbox.
Yeah.
And then I look and I can see clearly what needs to be done because they're unchecked boxes. And 2 people from the meeting took the idea. I'm like, you can totally take my checkbox idea. But there's something so satisfying about just like checking off something and getting it on off your list, right?
I love it.
Like, but you don't take it off your list because you see it. Like, if I was doing it in a Word document, I would delete the line, but I wouldn't see what I've accomplished, so I wouldn't feel so good about it. But with the checkbox printed, I understand the task more because I had to write it out. And I just get some crazy satisfaction about seeing that box ticked.
I love it. And I love your body language right now. I just took 5 pictures of you while you were saying that, because your one leg is crossed over very tightly. You got your red book on your lap, and you're talking with the pen, and you're drawing the boxes.
I am gesticulating.
And you got the glasses.
Or I'm Jacq-sticulating.
We'll talk about later.
Oh, the glasses. We're going to move on to that. Alrighty.
Stay off social media is another thing, and turn off the computer if you have to, and do some things the good old-fashioned way without electronics, i.e. paper and pen. Jacqueline, thank you.
Okay, so that's true. Like, I close all the tabs except for email because I usually, like, I'm a writer for, like, ad agencies. So I need my email open all the time and I need to be on the computer. Yeah. But I do have to shut down Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything. Good. Because it's too much of a distraction.
On that, social networking. Are you using Hootsuite or for your own stuff? Or
I used to.
You used to? Is there a charge for that?
No, not if you use like their basic package.
Okay.
You know what? I still have my Hootsuite account, but it depends what you're doing, right? Like for me, it's mostly web. Yeah, it's Drinks at 6. So it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can program it in, but at the time I had a few sites. Like I was working on client sites, so I would try to book all their social feeds in. And then at some point, Hootsuite's like, you can only do this many Twitter accounts. You can only do, whatever.
Okay.
But some campaign work that I've done for like Canadian Tourism or NBC, awesome to have Hootsuite because you can schedule all your tweets. And, it's good to schedule your tweets. But, if you're running your own business or you're running a brand, you have to also respond within a reasonable amount of time to tweets. So scheduling is good, but it can allow you to get lazy on responding. So... yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, on Twitter you can use TweetDeck. I mean, there's great scheduling tools out there. A really good site for any business that runs itself, like you run it, or I could just say a small business, is to go to the website Social Media Examiner. Okay. That site is a goldmine for all social media that you need to know to run your business. I'll send you the link.
Please do.
Because
lost a pen already.
I stole your pen. It's got how to use images on your site in a way that, attract what kind of images work, what kind of images don't work.
I want to write it down. Give me the pen. Give me the pen.
How to run a podcast. When to tweet, when to Facebook post,
wow.
How to generate leads, how to get people to your page, what kind of content works. Like it's just got absolutely everything you need to know. So anyway, Social Media Examiner, and they do
piece of gold right
now. This site is invaluable. They've got podcasts every week. I bookmark their podcasts and listen to them, and I can listen to them while I'm working. They just interviewed Mitch Joel on blogging, so of course that's of interest to me.
Another thing is coming up now. I thought we were best friends, and you're always talking about this. Okay.
Why? What happened? It's all about you. What happened? I didn't tell you about Social Media Examiner.
Me is not a good idea.
I did hold out.
Sensitive.
Because I'm going to start a jewelry line, and I didn't want you to be better than me.
Okay, that's great.
So will you share that article with us on the podcast page about these tips?
Yes, I will. I will definitely share the article.
Good. I will send you harassing emails, which I will schedule in Hootsuite and Boomerang, which is Boomerang, by the way, is a tool for Gmail where you can schedule emails. And it was great for me on New Year's because I don't know if you remember, but New Year's, Netflix did the best thing in the free friggin' world. They did an 8 o'clock ball dropping New Year's Eve ceremony so parents could dupe their kids into thinking it was midnight and send them off to bed. So
that's amazing.
I wanted to send out my New Year's Eve message to all my friends, but I knew that, like the kids, the ball was also dropping for me at 8 and I'd be like sound asleep by midnight. So I scheduled my New Year's message in
New
Boomerang.
Year's message. I loved it.
I probably sent it around 10:30 because I know you guys are in your 40s. You don't stay up late. So, but yeah, it was great because
you know what time we went to bed? 11:35.
Really? You just couldn't hold out the 25 minutes? Wow.
Whoa, that was bad.
Okay, so we'll share some of. Well, you know what? Like Social Media Examiner's one. I do think in a few podcasts that we talk about, we should really share some really great tools for entrepreneurs and small business, and we'll definitely do something like that.
You should have been sharing this with me a long time ago.
You know what? Treat them mean, keep them keen.
Of information. Treat them mean. What did you say?
Well, treat them mean, keep them keen. Actually, if you want to watch a great YouTube channel that talks about social and the whole space and what businesses need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tara Hunt has a great podcast channel called Truly Social. Okay. Listen to her. That chick knows what she's doing. And tons of great advice. Just about what works, what doesn't, what businesses and brands are doing. It's stuff for you to think about. Okay. Really thought-provoking. And she's, like, super cute and funny.
Nice.
So I want to just chime in with my Maddie moment.
Please do.
She's 4. I know I say that all the time. But I guess I cannot believe the audacity of a 4-year-old sometimes. So she tried skating. and she hated it because she kept falling on her bum. So I tried, my dad took her. My dad's a good skater, and I used to figure skate, so I haven't been with her, but my parents used to take her for a day or two every 2 weeks, and they would take her out skating and stuff while I was working. So, so she liked skating with my dad, but she did keep falling, and so she's like, Eeyore, I can't do this. So I said to her a few weeks ago, I said, you know what, do you want to go skating this winter? And she said, no, Mommy, I don't like skating. I fall on my bum. I said, well, you know what, I fall on my bum too, so let's learn together, and who cares? We'll just fall on our bums. And she goes, well, if I'm going to learn, Grandpa's going to have to teach me because you can't skate either. I'm like, listen, you little rat fink, I can totally skate. I can totally teach you. I just said that to make you feel better. It's all about solidarity. Anyway, fine.
Wow.
Let Grandpa teach you. Yeah. Yeah, she's on to me.
That is
She's
fantastic.
Why is that fantastic?
Because she's already in tune to, like, I'm thinking of mean things in my head that I don't want to say out loud, but...
Well, she's in tune, but, I duped her. Yeah. Anyway, she didn't get it. Doesn't matter.
But she's understanding already.
Yeah,
if you're going to learn something, you go to an expert. Why would you go to somebody that doesn't know what the hell they're doing?
I know. What a clown.
I'm actually going to review my business plan with Maddie.
Instead of
you.
Okay.
That Pepperwood night we planned?
Yeah.
Send the kid in, would you?
Yeah, there's a big business flop, eh? Julie Cole, our podcast partner, selling Mabel's labels for $12 million. Julie, I hope you're listening to our podcast for some business advice.
Exactly. I hope you'll be buying the beers on.
By the way, cheers.
Way to go, Julie.
Way to go, Julie. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, she's an inspirational story. We'll talk about her on another podcast.
For sure.
So my challenge and your challenge and most women's challenge who, are working and have either kids or no kids, puppies, husbands, boyfriends, friends, okay, so women who have a life. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether it is a self-fulfilling prophecy or if it is a real obstacle that we never have time to work out. I love to make up excuses not to work out, but that's why spinning works. It's quick and dirty. I can go 45 minutes, dirty. I'm done, and I'm like, ha!
Do you shower there? Or?
No, I walk home and shower. I don't even know if I shower. It's a good point. I should check into that. So Catherine, our dear friend Catherine, she texted me the other week and she said, hey, we have been trying for weeks. Let's grab a drink. Let's go for dinner. Well, just with Christmas and everything and then the start of the new year and then these crazy nights we've been having, I haven't had time. But I don't want to be the person who never has time because then I'll go crazy. So anyway, so she put out this text to me saying, look, why don't we, next Friday night, there's a boxing class right up the street from us. Why don't we go to the boxing class? And I'm like, and then let's go gain back the calories we burn in the class. Like, let's go for a bite and go for cocktails. So it got me to thinking, like you and I have talked about fitness challenges and how to make time and carve it out for yourself. And I thought, you know what a great way to, not necessarily like, if you're serious about losing weight or getting in shape, but just to keep moving, grab a buddy. And if it's your night to go for cocktails, throw in, like, go to a local gym or a center or whatever and say, you know what, I want to try your hot yoga. I want to try Zumba. They always give you an introductory rate or an intro price for a class. Mm-hmm. So you're not paying really much to do it. You're trying something brand new. You're with a buddy, so you have to go. You can't bail because it's the buddy bail thing. And then you're burning calories. And then you go out for a friggin' drink and you feel amazing.
Exactly.
And that's your kind of like 2 birds, 1 stone. Got a workout in and you got to see your friend and you got to go out.
It's a perfect night.
Yeah.
Catherine's the best for that stuff.
She's like Sporty Spice.
Yeah. And I always say to her, hanging out with you is like being in an after-school special. Because she's always... I remember when... This was quite a few years ago when I was going to Good Life Fitness. And I said to her, I don't know. I never go. I'm getting bored. She goes, that's because it's boring because you've been doing the same thing in the same building for all these years. Get rid of the gym membership and try different stuff. Go to a yoga studio. Go to a like a boxing class. Go
Yeah.
ride your bike. Go rollerblading. Do this. Do this.
Yeah.
Get the workout in, but don't make it about. And she said, and you like to be outside. Why are you going into a building? And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right. I'm the guy that's out there in the snowstorm, like power walking and
Yeah.
feeling exhilarated. I know that's not for everybody, but
Yeah,
I
but
actually
you know
like
what?
that stuff. So why am I paying $40 a month to go?
But if you can tune into what your fitness personality
Yes.
is, you will actually find a way to fit fitness in because
Yeah.
like you, if you love to power walk, right? Like if a couple of weeks ago I had to go downtown for something and I thought, you know what? I don't have a lot of time, but I know the TTC during rush hour takes forever. So I'm going to take those hours that I would have spent on the TTC around 4:00. I'm going to go earlier and I'm going to walk.
Yeah.
So I walked all the way there. It took me an hour. And then I took the TTC home and it wasn't rush hour. So I shaved off hours on rush hour on the TTC, but I made up for them by spending an hour walking. So I didn't lose any time,
Perfect.
but I got an hour walk in. And I felt great after that.
Did you
'cause-
listen to anything?
Oh,
Were
yeah.
you like
Always
listen to
listen.
podcasts?
Yeah. No, I
Or what?
listen to music.
Oh, music. Okay.
I need music to kind of keep me
yeah,
going.
music's good for
Do
that.
you listen to music or podcasts?
You know what? I haven't been because I got to walk the short dog.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of have to know
Little
if there's
pug legs.
problems.
Yeah. So I haven't had the tunes going, but I think I would. You know, I was going to say too about this whole fitting in fitness and working out thing. So I have this schedule where I have to walk the dog in the morning. Like I do mornings, Wayne does evenings, right? So
Right.
I got to do it. So I get up and we go for probably 20 to 25 minutes. And she's a Jacq, which is a Jack Russell pug mix. So my leg stride, I'm 5'10" versus that leg
Like
stride.
1
is
millimeter
little channel.
legs.
Yeah. So, but I run with her. Like I do like little sprints and
Yeah.
she likes that. So that
Oh,
works out.
good.
So I figure that's good. You know what? That's 25 minutes. I'm actually getting my heart rate up. I am getting into like some kind of fat burning mode.
Yeah.
So I'll use that as my cardio. And then I've always been so hard on myself with I got to do weights. I've got to do weights. And I do them and then I don't do them and I go, I'll leave the weights. I'll leave the weights. So anyway, while I was at the One of a Kind show, I had a friend help me out, and her name is Natasha, and she's had a beautiful baby girl in the meantime, but she was pregnant at the show, and her due date was Christmas Day. And she was showing me this beautiful yoga flow that she does, you know, in preparation for, you know, the pregnancy. She's doing this in her Lamaze class, whatever. Anyways, this beautiful flow, and we were doing it every day at the show when our energy level started to drop. We did it like maybe 6 times a day. And I thought, I'm going to do that flow because I loved how it made me feel. And who cares about the weights? I got a 155-pound body here I can take advantage
Resistance,
of.
yeah.
I'm going to do push-ups in between flows. So now what I'm doing
Or
is
plank.
I'm doing... Or plank. I could do plank too.
Yeah.
So I'm doing like the flow, 5 push-ups, the flow, another 5 up, and I'm just doing 25 push-ups. My abs and my arms are like totally killing me.
Okay, do you...
And I love it. And it
how
takes
can you
15
show,
minutes.
Can I videotape you doing the flow?
Yeah, it's actually on my Instagram.
Is it?
Yeah, because I did it. Natasha and I are on the Glam Jewels Instagram page in the booth doing the flow.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Okay.
hilarious. But we
So-
could do a video of it if you
Let's
want.
do it. Yeah. I would love to see that flow because, you know, I think that's the thing too. You need, it's part of the, like, going back to the sabotaging, you know, your
Yeah.
productivity. A lot of it, like for me this past week, has been so tired. After spinning, I just didn't have anything else to kick my energy back in. But you know what? Doing a 2-minute flow,
Oh,
you know,
it's
what a
incredible.
great idea. You know, too, another thing, like I work from home and my kitchen is open concept. So I throw down a yoga mat, I put my laptop on the counter, I go to a YouTube channel, I try a Pilates or I try a yoga class
Yes.
on YouTube. Or, you know what though, like it's cool to Google like new fitness trends. There's always somebody doing a video and you just follow the video and you screw up and whatever. Or like a little kickboxing thing. But
Yeah.
you're just trying it, but you're in your kitchen, who cares, right?
Exactly.
But you're burning
doing
fat.
something.
And then you're done, you go back upstairs, you sit down, you start working. So there's a lot of ways to fit fitness in, you know, but
Yes.
you
I
also
used
have to
to
work on
work-
your mindset.
Yeah. I worked with a guy at Canada Post, and when we, like back in those days, we did a lot of cold calling. So you would go and knock on 30 doors a day. Like, it was hardcore, right? And in between each call in his suit, he would do 25 push-ups. And his body was like, and that's all he did.
Push-ups? Just push-ups?
Push-ups.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can do it. I mean, you can also get like the big exercise ball and use it as your chair at your desk.
That's right.
Because you're constantly balancing your core, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the ad agencies I worked at, they gave us all exercise balls. And that was, you put
That
it
was
beside your chair, and you could have your chair, and then you could spend the morning on the ball, and then the afternoon in the chair, do whatever you want.
That's great.
It's a great idea. Totally, there's a lot of ways to fit it in. And I would love to know, like, you've given us some great ideas, and I think, the finding a friend and making that your night out is a fun idea. But I'm sure that there are a lot of other ideas out there. So I would love to hear from you guys. If you could just leave us a comment, email us, and let us know what are some ways that you fit fitness in that people probably haven't even thought of. So anyway, over to you.
I have a word of the day.
Okay.
It's 2 words.
Oh.
But it doesn't mean what you think it's going to mean.
Oh.
So you got to get really creative on this one.
Uh-oh.
The word, which is 2 words, is blind pig.
Oh, gee. Have you ever seen those truffles? Truffle pig?
No.
I don't know why they're called truffle pig. Blind pig?
Blind pig.
So is this a word or an expression?
It's a noun. It's a
noun.
Yeah.
A blind pig. Okay, is it as derogatory as it feels?
It's not derogatory at all.
It's a noun.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a proper noun?
What's a proper noun?
Like New York City or...
Or, go on.
Or like the CN Tower.
It's a proper noun.
It's a proper noun.
It is funny that it's a proper noun, actually, for what it is.
And it's called blind pig. Oh my gosh, it's a proper noun. All right. Oh god, I can't think of something for this one. It sounds like a pub. It's a pub.
Close,
Okay.
You're getting warmer.
It's
Okay, but you have to use it in a sentence. You can't.
Okay.
Oh no, you're trying to guess what it is. It's not a pub. That's your guess, Jacqueline. It's not a pub, but you're close. Now use it in a sentence.
Okay. It's not a pub though. I had no luck scoring a Scooby snack at Finn McCool's, so the girls and I thought we'd head down to the Blind Pig and see if there were any Scoobies looking for cougars.
That is a perfect sentence. You've used it correctly in a sentence.
Okay.
But the meaning of it is wrong.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, here, so you got a half a point.
Okay.
So, okay, I know it's been a long year. Do I tell you? I don't give you the definition now.
No, you
now
have to put
use
it
in a sentence, and then you
This
try
is
to
your
guess.
game.
I know. I forgot my own game. Hey, Jacqueline, what do you say we head down to the Blind Pig after last call, where we can continue the party?
Is it an after party?
Yeah, informal place where alcoholic drinks are sold illegally.
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
that cool? I never.
I didn't know they were called that.
I don't know where it
Didn't
originates
we used to
from.
call them like booze cans? And
Yeah,
stuff?
booze cans. But
Yeah,
this was
Blind Pig.
I thought I gotta use
Okay.
that. Drinks at 6.
How can you
Blind
not?
Pig.
All
So maybe when you and Catherine, you could go to like a late night
kickboxing and then a blind
kickboxing
pig.
and then hit the Blind Pig. And if you guys do that,
Do you know how late
I'll
you-
be at the Blind
Do
Pig.
you know how
waiting.
late you have to stay up for a blind pig to
I know.
open?
Do you know I went to a Blind Pig?
I think you just like saying that.
Yeah, I went. It was amazing. So Wayne, I think it was his, I don't know, it was like a birthday in his 30s. We all went to the Mod Club and we saw a band, and it was a fun night. And poor Wayne, he's always the designated driver because he doesn't drink. So even on his birthday, he used to drive all these drunk people home.
Fun.
And there were a lot of drunk. So I said to him, so listen, would you mind if I went with your buddies to an after hours bar and you can drive my girlfriends home?
Oh, seriously?
And he was like, yeah, sure. And I got home at 6:00 in the morning. I had the best night. I've never experienced it. It was amazing.
Wow.
And there were like older people there,
Yeah.
you know, and it was great. The bathroom was disgusting.
Yes, that's one thing I know.
But-
There's a few places in TO like that.
Yeah.
I just
it was so cool. Like even the guy at the door with the password, it was just like out of a movie. So much fun.
I actually call my living room the blind pig after Maddie, after Maddie goes to bed.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, meet you in the blind pig for a glass of wine and a nightcap at 8:30 p.m. Okay,
Love it.
I've got a topic that I think is really funny because I see it happen. Started with my husband. I've seen you do it.
Uh-oh.
I've seen a lot of people do it. You're all guilty. We go out to a restaurant, or I show you an article in a magazine, and you immediately put your arms out at length and try to read the text. And that means you need my glasses. But it's funny because everyone's like, no, I don't need glasses. No, I'll just borrow yours. I don't need them. I'm totally fine. I'm just tired tonight. The lighting is dim. Yeah, you've got a million excuses. So I have glasses, and I had the same prescription for 20 years. And then after I had Maddie, I went to my optometrist, and he said, let's do your, check your sight, whatever. I said, you know what, my current glasses are fine. They've always been fine. He's like, okay, well, that's fine. So let's just do a test anyway. So, they do the lens thingy. Mm-hmm. So he shows me my current glasses, and sure enough, they're fine. And then he puts on the new lenses. I'm like, holy mother of God, is that an R? Like, I could not believe. I can see. Is that what I look like? So I was like, I caved. I was like, I don't care what I look like. My eyes feel amazing. Like, I just feel like I can see everything now. And I couldn't believe how little I could see. But since I've been wearing those glasses for 4 years, I do notice that my eyesight is declining more, whether it's the glasses or age. They say after 40, down the hill.
Yeah.
So, but my question is, so I had my daughter later in life, and so I'm paranoid, right? I'm like, I don't want to be an old mother, and I want to be a young mom to her. By young, I don't mean age. I just mean energetic and hip and relevant. And the glasses thing is funny to me because we have such an aversion to it. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, my eyesight is failing. What kind of mother am I going to be? And, but then I think, wait a minute. I went to school in grade 2 with kids who wore glasses.
Yeah.
A failing eyesight does not mean your life is over.
No.
But I think when you're in... Yeah, listen to you.
When you have 30/20 vision
but...
your whole life.
Yeah, but I think that the reason our 40s are different with glasses is because getting glasses is somehow accepting that things are starting to change and their eyesight's getting worse, metabolism is slowing down, we're getting middle-age spread, and I feel like giving into glasses is throwing in the towel. All right, I'm 40. But
I got a couple issues with glasses.
Yeah. But...
Okay. Number one is, am I going to ruin them because I'm not used to them? I buy the cheapest sunglasses because I wreck all my glasses. So am I going to now invest in glasses when I could just borrow yours and pull that sheet away?
Okay, so I'm
going to ruin the glasses. Eventually they're going to get crushed because I'm not used to them. Because my optometrist told me in my 30s that I had 30/20 vision and I had bionic eyes. So I got to get over that. So
by
that's
now
history.
I'm down to 20/20, right? Okay, so that's a lame
that's
excuse.
History. Lame. Okay, so that's number one lame excuse. Number two is, where will they live on my person? Because
on your face. That's usually where they go, or in your purse.
But I don't always need them. I only need them to read things when they're close.
That's when I need them.
So, right. So then I have to move them from the top of the head
on your head
to the face. And then if they are living at the top of my head, they're going to get stuck in my hair. And then I'm going to get irritated because I don't like when my hair is pulled.
Okay,
and then the hair is going to get in the things that go on your nose.
Oh my God. I seriously, you got to stop.
And then, so then the next thing is so if I don't want it on my person there...
in your head,
do I now have to, as the designer of glam jewels, Do I have to design eyeglass chains? Like, I know that
No.
people say you should make them. Some people like them. They're in fashion. A lot of people try to sell me an eyeglass chain thing. I don't.
No,
It
I hate
actually
them.
makes me like.
Yeah, no, I'd
Very
rather get a
uncomfortable.
clip for them to put on my purse, but no, not an eyeglass chain.
Clip for purse. You may have sold me on glasses. No.
No, I would put a little clip on here
Yeah.
that clips to my purse, and then I would always know where they were. I would never wear an eyeglass chain.
Okay.
Is your relationship with your husband perfect and problematic free?
Yeah.
Because clearly you are making your relationship with glasses sound like a bloody nightmare. It is a nightmare. Do you know how often I lose my glasses? Like, all the time. But it is a fact of life that your eyesight is changing.
And
You're
how
in
will
your
I get
40s.
cool ones? Jacq, yours are so great on you. You suit those glasses. They look amazing on you.
But there's
not going to be glasses
These
for
are
me.
Coach. You can
Yeah.
get like Michael Kors. You can get any
but
kind of frame.
I'm going to look stupid in
No,
any
you're
frame.
not
Yeah.
gonna get. Oh, God.
Do they have aviator ones?
No, no, and you
Then
don't
there's
want
nothing
them.
for me. I like
Okay,
aviator.
you're negative on your
Okay,
body
this is my
right
question.
now.
This is my question is, you're a writer, okay?
Right.
So you have these glasses that make you look even cooler
Writery.
as a writer.
Oh, she must be a writer. She has glasses.
Yeah, but you look like you got a thing going. Remember in the 80s, we'd be like, hey, man, what's your scene? Like, you got
Nobody
a scene.
said that. Nobody
I
said
said
that.
it.
No, they didn't.
We
No,
did.
you didn't.
Yes, we did.
I'm going to edit this
The
out of the
new waivers.
podcast because I don't want
The new
anybody
waivers said
to
it.
verbal shame you.
I
Or
told-
slogan shame you. Or
okay.
catchphrase shame you.
No, we said.
No, you
I
didn't.
gotta repeat it.
Did you say it again?
I said,
You did not.
hey, man, what's your scene?
You really
Yeah,
said
what's
that
that
shit?
guy's
What
scene?
are you, the
Or we'd
Fonz?
see somebody and say, hey, man, what's their scene? I like that scene. What's that scene?
Oh my god.
That's the thing. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe it's just me and my loser
I
friends.
think
okay.
like
Anyways,
adults would
the
look at
scene.
you then and go, friggin' millennial. You are the version.
Okay, so if we're gonna base this on what's
Okay.
your scene,
Yeah, what's
I
your
get your
scene?
scene with the glasses. I don't know what my scene would be. I mean,
I just feel
I'm
like it's a health issue, not an image problem. You're going blind. That's your scene, and you can't see. Scene, so that's your scene. You can't see. That's your scene. I ain't seen that because I'm blind.
oh my god,
Give into it. You're like,
I'm gonna have to-
our 40s are amazing. I just love where everything is in our 40s, including my failing eyesight. And now you're all like, no, that's not my scene. Oh, no, that's not my scene. Okay, I think you need to go think about that because you need glasses.
Okay, you're coming with me to pick the frames.
I will go. Dr. Eve's in Burlington. Best place ever, right on Fairview.
I don't want stuff with swirls or jewels
no,
or
that's not what
I
they do.
don't-
They're
I want-
glasses. Oh my
and I,
God.
and I
They're not Mrs. Roper. They are glasses.
I
They're
don't
just
have a problem with Mrs. Roper.
Yeah, you have a
That
problem.
might be,
Is
that
she
might
your
be my
scene?
scene.
Maybe you could rock out your glasses with a moo-moo. Okay, so
Okay.
it's vanity. That's why.
Yeah.
And it's fear of aging.
Is it?
I think part of it is. So why? No, I think it's
fear. I think it's vanity.
Okay,
I don't
for
want to
you it's
cover up my
vanity.
face.
Okay, well, it's a lovely face, and I wouldn't cover it up. But I do believe that for a lot of us, we have a fear that glasses are like a sign to us, another sign from our body that things are changing and they're slowing down, and we don't want that.
No,
We're running from that a little bit. So that's my
I
take
agree
on
with that.
glasses. So, listeners, how many times have you stretched a menu across the table just to read an appy? Are you afraid to wear glasses?
And
or...
if you do wear glasses, what's your scene?
What's your scene? Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna move on to gigs, girls, and gadgets. Okay, so I love to cook. I love to find new recipes, and I love to find new recipes, pass them on to my husband to cook for me. But and so I don't. I mean, I have a million cookbooks upstairs, but seriously, like the '70s bridge cookbooks, not doing it for me anymore. So. I found a new app on my phone called Tender, which works like Tinder, except you're not dating, you're baking or you're cooking. But it's the same idea, right? Like you basically, you take like, you can pick the core ingredient, chicken, beef, veggies, whatever. So it's searchable by core ingredient. And then you can swipe right or left and banish a recipe or save it to your cookbook just by simply swiping right or left on it, right?
Yep.
So you build your cookbook or you banish it so you don't keep seeing like, you know, that recipe or whatever when you're searching. And you can search it by like words or phrases like, you know, vegan or beef bourguignon or whatever. Yeah. So it's really cool. It's like an easy little app on your phone. And then for me, my phone's got that little tripod-y thing. I just stick it on the counter, pull up the recipe, and I can cook my meals. And when I'm out shopping and I'm like, okay, what the hell are we having for dinner tonight? I'll go on Tender. I'll swipe through. I just want like a quick chicken dinner or something. And I'm at Loblaws. Swipe through, and there are all my ingredients.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes. So Tender, not Tinder. I will post the link to the app. It's free.
Love it.
Yeah, it's an amazing app. So saves you like mealtime. People are coming for company. It's coming for dinner, and you're out of ideas like I usually am. Or you just like want, you know, a new bacon recipe every once in a while for a podcast. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll definitely post the link, but you've got to check it out. Like super easy,
Tender.
super convenient, easy to search, and easy to banish or save. Yeah, it's amazing. So thanks for joining us this week on this week's podcast, Drinks at 6. Tune in next week because we've got another exciting podcast. We're going to talk about, you know, Monica, I think you've been there. Do you ever just want to throw in the towel? Do you ever just want to give up when things are overwhelming or just not working? And it's the most, you know, demoralizing feeling. But has it ever happened? And how do you snap out of it? We're going to talk about hormones and hot flushes, the awesome hormone highway. And then we're going to talk about judgment. Why do we really judge people? So tune in next week. And thanks for joining us today. Drinks at 6. Monica,
Thanks,
cheers.
Jacqueline.
That was a lot of fun.
That was.
I know. That was totally my scene.
Totally.
Scene.
Totally.
Scene.
Totally.
Scene.
Totally.
Scene.
Totally.
Scene.
Totally.
Scene.